Oh, we haven't got your wheat. Did Jenny take your? I get it to check it. Yeah, just the das, yes. Thanks a lot. Right, so get ready for some yoga. So if you just clear your mats and take yourself down to lie down on the back of the mat. There's Diane. Thanks, Jenny. Okay, get ready for some work. So just lie down on your back on the mat. We'll just do some work working into the hips and the legs just to warm up the muscles, so, and the hips. So just feel the body settling into the floor, lying in a straight line with the back of the body nice and straight. Feel the body settling and just scan down your body. When you've had a sense of just releasing into the floor, just take a couple of times to scan down your body from the top of your head to the soles of the feet. Just noticing any tension or any tightness in the body. And if you notice any, just make a conscious effort to release it. So notice it. And on the out breath, just breathe out and let it go into the floor. So where we take our awareness, so we take our energy. And half of this is about awareness. And it's always good to begin the yoga with as much relaxation in the body as possible, free of tension. And we're going to begin to move the legs in a minute. But just to begin with, let's just have a really good stretch. So breathe in and lift your arms up and overhead. Place them onto the floor behind you, or if you're in the chair, up, and just really stretch through the body, really stretch through the body. And then as you breathe out, release and let go, bringing the arms back down. And do that once more in your own time, just really enjoying the feeling of just being able to stretch the body. Point the toes up or down towards me so that you can feel a stretch through the legs, and then release and let go in your breath. And take your awareness into your right leg. So we're going to stretch and extend the right leg at the minute. But just to begin with, just take your awareness fully into your right leg. Just notice that leg, notice the boundary of that leg between the body and the air. Notice the space that that leg takes up. And then when your awareness is fully engaged in your leg, on the next in-breath, simply lift the leg as you breathe in. So keeping that right leg straight. Breathe in and lift the leg up into the air, trying to keep the sole of the foot flat. If you're in the chair, just extend the leg as much as you can. And breathe out to release it down. And just do that another 4 times. Breathing in, keeping the back of the hips pushed into the ground, keeping the back of the neck long, and just mindfully working with the breath and the leg. Feeling the stretch in the back of the thighs, the hamstrings, even the back of the calf. And keeping your hands down by the side of the body to give you a little bit of stability as you do the work. If this feels like a bit of a strong stretch for you, because hamstrings are tight, you can always keep the other knee bent. So we can do it on the left. So take your awareness into the left leg. We're going to lift this leg in a minute. So if you feel like you need to bend the right leg, that's fine. You can bend the right leg at the knee and keep the foot flat. But otherwise, when you're ready, breathing in and lifting that left leg. Keeping a little part of your awareness in the abdomen, breathing out to release it back down. So that as you lift the leg, you can feel the abdomen working too. And this time, as you lift your left leg, at the top of the lift, if the leg's straight or the knees bent, just feel the thigh bone sinking into the socket at the top of the lift. And release into the stretch as much as you can. See if each time you can get the leg a little bit higher. 5 times in total on the left. And we're going to do hip circles after this. So make this one your last movement. Okay, so the hip circles in the chair, we can just lift the leg and do that, yeah. So we're going to begin with the right leg. So lift your right leg to about halfway. And we're going to make circles with the foot. So just start to move your foot in a clockwise direction. Well, it can be either direction, but just note which direction. It's small circles, so you're drawing small circles with your feet. And then slowly making those circles a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. Just enough to give your hips a good stretch. You may notice a little bit of clickiness, a little bit of release going on in this right hip, making that circle as wide as possible, and then slowly bringing it to a stop, laying the leg down, and then we'll do the same on the other side. Normally I'll go both ways, but we've got to move on a little bit. So lift the left leg to about halfway, and same again. Small circles to begin with, and then making it bigger. And as you make it bigger, make it as slow as possible so that the leg can really sweep around in as big a circle as you can make. Very releasing for the hip, really working. So we're working deep into the hip. That's lovely, working the knee more. So we need to work the hip.
Yeah, I can do it better.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, just work with what you can do, that's great. And then slowly bringing it to a stop and resting the leg on the floor. And taking your right leg, bending the right leg at the knee and taking your thigh over the chest. So we just do a little stretch out through the hip. So bring the thigh over the chest and either holding on the top of the knee or the back of the thigh. Just really feel that thigh stretching out. Ease and squeeze the thigh as close into the chest as is comfortable for you. Putting the toes of the left foot up towards the ceiling so that that left leg is engaged a little bit. And then on the next out breath, as you gently squeeze the thigh into the chest, just lift your head so that the right eye looks at the right knee. Hold for as long as it's comfortable there, and then breathe in to release back down. Keep the leg there and do that 4 more times. So you're working with the stretch. And again, if it's a strong stretch for this knee, you can bend your left leg if you need to. So 5 movements and then gently swap over. Just check underneath. Yeah, generally coming down, that's good.
That's good. The other one.
Yeah, it's on my God, there's quite a few, isn't it? Okay, and then swapping over. Left leg. So really work into the hip. And be mindful of the stretch and the release in the hip as you do the movement, and lifting the head on the out breath. So as you gently breathe out, squeezing the thigh into the chest and lifting the head to take the left eye towards the left knee. So it's very good for the internal organs, the digestive system. We're working on strengthening the abdominal organs and the core strength as well, but releasing deeply into the hips, which are often very, very tight. And then when you've done 5, releasing that leg back down, stretching it out, just noticing how that leg feels. And then bringing both thighs over the chest, holding around the back of the thighs or the top of the knee. Actually hold around the back of the knees, actually the back of the thighs, back of the knees. And just have a little rock from side to side. And then do 3 movements on the out breath. So bringing yourself to stillness, And on the next out breath, gently squeeze both thighs into the chest and lift the head up to look between the knees. Breathe in to release back down, doing that 3 times. Holding at the top of the breath with the breath held outside of the body just for as long as is comfortable. And breathing in to release back down. And then when you finish 3, just keeping the thighs here. And we're going to see if we can rock up to sitting. I was doing this with the autistic kids last night and they just couldn't do it, because they lack core strength, these kids often. So we're just going to start to rock the body. Quite often to do that, you need to keep the body in quite a tight ball and start to rock and lift the lower legs and just enjoy the rock for a little while on the spine, because it's a lovely massage for the spine. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can just come up to sitting, but otherwise slowly rocking up to a sitting posture. Trapezius muscle in particular releases up. And then take your chin down onto your chest. So just take your chin down onto your chest. Just feel that stretch and lengthening in the back of the neck. And then keeping your chin here, we're just going to do like a rolling action. So we're just going to roll the head. So the right ear just rolls towards the right shoulder and just lifts up a little bit. So it's just a semicircle rolling action. And then rolling it down again. So the chin comes onto the chest again. And then rolling it to the other side. Just rolling it up and then rolling it down. Just do that twice to each side. That's it. So we have to be careful with our necks. But we do need to work them. And then when you've finished on the left, just bring the head back to center. And let's take the legs out straight. So Dandasana. Yeah. So we're building up, I don't know if any of you noticed that you're building up flexibility and building up length in the muscles and things. But this posture might have been really difficult for you at the beginning. So we need to sit with a nice straight back, feel the seat bones. And if this feels like a bit tight for you and you're rounding your back, do sit on the block. So we're just going to hold this posture if we can, because it's a good posture. Bring your hands down by your side. Or we do a little bit of work with the wrists and the hands. But if at any time this posture gets too strong, because it's strong in the thighs, it can be strong in the back, just sit in a cross-legged or comfortable posture. So permission to do that if you need to. So bring your hands up. And make a loose fist. So tuck the thumb in and then hook the fingers over the thumb. And we're going to do the wrist rotations. Remember 50p piece on both wrists. And we rotate them either in the same direction or opposite directions one way. So nice and slow, taking the wrists in as big a circle, rotating them as fully as possible, keeping the back of the wrists flat. So if that 50p was on them, it would stay on them. Because this isolates the movement just in the wrist. Complex joint, if 50% of the bones of our body are in our hands and our feet, and often the wrists just don't get their full range of work out. They can become quite key areas of blockage of energy in the body. And then take them the opposite direction, about the same number of times. Take them around and really feel the wrists. Releasing and stretching. And then bring them to stillness. Stretch the hands out and really stretch the fingers out. Really widen your fingers and stretch them out. Adjust your posture if you need to, because it's a strong posture, this Dandasana. And then close the fist, so close the fingers over the thumb, and do that 5 times. Breathe in and stretch the fingers out. Breathe out and make a fist. Breathe in, out. It 5 times in total. If anything's starting to ache and groan, make adjustments to posture. And then when you've finished your 5, just bring the arms down. Shake the arms out a little bit if they're a little bit achy. And we're just going to do an exercise with the eyes. So, making sure that you still feel comfortable here. Just bring your right hand in front of your face. Poke the thumb up, so make the kind of OK symbol, so that you can look, just look at the fingernail of that thumb, at the thumbnail itself. Now the head is going to stay straight. So the head isn't going to move. The chin parallel to the floor, nothing's going to move. The only things that's going to move are the eyes. And lift your thumb up to the 12 o'clock position, because we're imagining we've got a big clock face in front of us now, and just look the eyes up, nothing else moves. And then start to move it clockwise around to the 1 o'clock position, the 2 o'clock, and just follow it with your eyes. So only the eyes move, and make that circle as wide as you can, and you're just tracking your thumb with the eyes all the way down to 6 o'clock. Do it fairly slowly, all the way through to 9 o'clock, and back up to the 12 o'clock position. And when you're at 12 o'clock, do it the opposite way, tracking it with the eyes. You may notice areas where the movement's a little jerky, where the eyes can't follow quite as well, but it's one of the many exercises for the eyes in yoga. All the way back up to the 12 o'clock. And when you've done that, just rub your hands together, get some heat into the palms, and just hold them over your eyes, just to warm up the eyes, because it can make the eyes quite achy. That's it, and really press them over the eyes. Take your glasses off, you've got glasses on. That's it. And then open your eyes again. Okay, keep Dandasana if you can, if not, just make adjustments. Once more, just bring that thumb back, and this time we're going to increase the focal the power of the muscles to focus at short and long distances. So arm's length, and just focus on that thumbnail. And then slowly, slowly bring your thumb closer into you. The aim is to get your thumb onto the tip of your nose, but still retain focus on that thumbnail. So the eyes have to work quite hard to retain focus, focus, focus. Keep looking at thumbnail as much as possible. Bring it as close to the tip of the nose as possible, so the eyes are really working, and then slowly take it back. So that you can feel the eye muscles really working to do this. And just do that twice. You can feel the eyes get a little bit achy as you get it to the very tip of the nose, and then back out again. Okay, and then when you finish that one, same again, rub the palms together and cup them over the eyes. And we're going to do Surya Namaskara. So we're going to all do it in a chair first. So if we can all just quickly get a chair. Because most of us have got jobs where we're sitting at desks. And it's really nice to be able to do some of these exercises sitting at desks. Yeah, be careful. Do you want me to do it? You want me to?
Quite stuck.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody got one? Yeah. Okay, we've all got a chair, right. Okay, so just sit in the chair. So we're going to do Surya Namaskara in the chair, just a slightly different version than we did last week. And then we're going to do it standing, okay, because we've worked up to this posture now. So sit comfortably, sit with the feet as flat on the chair as possible, and have the knees spread a little bit wide, actually, because it allows the seat bones to really connect with the seat. And when we go into the forward bend in a minute, we're going to do more what I call frog's legs. We're going to slide the hands down the legs. So knees are a little bit wide, arms down by the side of the body. Just bring your hands into the heart center so we can just get connected. You know, that centering process where we get connected to ourselves and we start from this centered space. Breathe in and out into the heart. And then breathe out and release the arms down. Breathe in and lift up and into a back bend. So lift up into as much of a back bend as you can. Look up and breathe out, folding forwards and taking the hands down to the insides of the forelegs and all the way down to the feet, and slide them down and rest them on the feet. Let the head hang loose. Take a breath in and out here. And then as you breathe in, lift the arms up, and at the same time, allow the right leg to stretch out and lift up. And then as you breathe out, take the arms wide and hook your right leg over your left. Okay, great. And now we're going to twist around to your right. So just hook your right arm around the chair and the left arm just around the outside of the right thigh. Breathe in and lift up. And as you breathe out, twist around to your right. Breathe in, come back to center, arms wide, and unhook the leg. And as you breathe out, take your arms, if you can, behind the chair, or otherwise kind of onto the base of the chair, but behind the chair, and hook them together, or onto the base of the chair, whatever's more comfortable. And we're going to do a back bend. So breathe in and stretch up through a back bend. Look up, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift up through the chest. And as you breathe out, release the arms and fold forwards. Sliding the hands all the way down to the feet, into that forward bend, and just let the head hang loose. And then we're going to lift all the way up into the back bend. So breathe in, lift the arms up until they're level with the spine, and then when they're level with the spine, lift all the way up through the spine, all the way up back bend, and breathe out and release the arms back down by the side of the body. So we're doing it in a chair, but we can feel it working on the back. So this time we'll do it with the opposite leg. So get centered, ready for the movement. Breathe out, lower the hands. Breathe in, lift up. Nice back bend if you can. Look up. Breathe out, fold forwards, taking the hands onto the insides of the legs, letting the hands slide all the way down the legs. Resting the hands on the feet, the head is nice and loose. As you breathe in, lift the arms up. And then lift the left leg up as you take the arms wide. Okay, so we're all here. And then hook the left leg over the right. And then get the arms in position. So one arm behind the chair. So your left arm behind the chair, your right arm hooked around your thigh. Breathe in, just lengthen through the spine. And as you breathe out, twist around to your left this time. So we twist around to the left, lovely. Breathe in, come back to center, arms wide, and unhook the thigh. Take the arms around the back of the body or into the side of the chair where you can push into a back bend, either way. And breathe in and squeeze the shoulder blades together, push the arms down or into the chair and just look up, so chin up. Breathe out, release, and fold forwards. Let the hands slide down the legs again. So the hands are resting on the feet. The head is hanging nice and loose. And one more time, breathing in, lift the arms up, all the way up, into the back bend. Look up and breathe out. The arms back down by the side of the body. Okay, so that's chair-based to warm us up for the full standing one. So now we can move the chairs and we'll do full standing posture. Surya Namaskara. So make sure that your socks are off. And come to the front of your mat.